So, thank you. Welcome everyone. Please grab a mic. And let's start with a short round of introductions. René, starting with you.
Hello everybody, my name is René from Siemens Healthineers. So we are a global medtech company headquartered in Germany. Our portfolio comprises medical imaging like CTs, MRs, ultrasound and so on. We have radiation therapy and we have also lab diagnostics business. My personal task in Siemens Healthineers is to connect our company with great startups, also in Israel of course.
Hi everyone, my name is Yariv, and born and raised in Switzerland, PhD in computer science, representing Clotho Capital Partners. I'm partner there. It's a small VC based in Switzerland.
Focused on AI.
Focused on AI, clear, sorry. Disruptive applications in legacy industry. Thank you.
And I'm Mike, I keep it short, I introduced myself before. I'm just reading that this is an interesting name that you gave to the company. It's we don't have anything to do with Allianz, but who knows, maybe there's a space alliance that will be built here or something. So I do defense and space in Airbus. I head that business, and I have been dealing with AI personally in my PhD when it was not so popular, but largely I came from a military and industrial background, now back to square one in aviation.
So AI is a very amorphic thing. It's like somewhere around there, and we're going to try to dig a little deeper and see how it affects various sectors. So René, starting with you, where do you see the biggest potential for AI and medtech in Europe?
I think in imaging. So looking at medtech, so it's imaging, and but also, to be honest, all areas of healthcare is affected by AI, and we as a company we see a huge potential of AI in healthcare, and this is also the reason why we're doing this since 20 years more or less. And we have already more than 80 AI products on the market, and this is a quite large number given that we are active in a highly regulated market. Sorry for the product placement, but maybe it's also important to understand our approach. So we do not believe in fully autonomous AI in healthcare.
So just let me hold you. So you don't see yourself talking to an AI doctor in like 5 years? You're not first triage? Am I dying? Yeah. Am I dying now? Or will I live? Yeah. So you will still go to a physical doctor?
I personally will, I guess. So
you will?
Yeah, I will. Because large language models, this is a big challenge also in regulation, right? So I think they're not at that point, at this moment in time, that they can reliably act as a physician. This might come, but this is not the case now.
Okay. We disagree, but we'll park this for now. And Yariv, Europe has dropped down to one significant foundation model, namely Mistral. After that, two. Wow. Sorry, I'm sarcastic. But what does it take now? I mean, we have 200 billion in a newly announced budget for AI. What is needed to really build AI capabilities for Europe?
It's a great question.
It's a big one. Take a small answer.
I will cut it in two, and I will put first my tech hat. Okay, let me be the PhD in AI, and I will tell you what we don't need is talent, because talent we have. What we need is massive investment.
Which you also have now, 200 billion.
It's a start, I would say. It's not at the scale of the US. It's not at the scale of other countries. It's a beginning. Now, if I put away my tech hat and I put my hat of VC, because I don't have a hat, I will say embrace legislation, embrace everything that is coming out as the AI Act, as different regulations for different country. And why is that? Because a lot of people sees it as a showstopper, and in fact this should be a show enhancer. Why? Because fact is, Europe is highly regulated. It will not change, right? No, we are not. It will not change, but this could be your advantage as entrepreneur, because once you are regulated and you can work with it, you can scale up in different markets much easier.
So you're saying it's a competitive barrier, basically, for others. If I pass the regulation, my competitor didn't.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It become an advantage, yes.
Okay. And that's it. So solve the regulation, get funding, and we're done.
It's
I'm
not so
asking.
simple, but let's say that it's a base. That's
Okay.
it.
And Mike, from your perspective, how is AI changing the future battlefield?
Well, it's already changing it as we speak. I mean, I don't know who of you. I guess most military guys here, most Israelis have some time with the military. So, what you call the OODA loop. So the orientation, the deciding what you want to do, the acting, and then closing the loop and do the battle assessment. The faster you can run through this, the better you will be, and the higher your chances are to win. Now, there's an ethical dimension that the Europeans are good at throwing in all the way, but essentially that's at the core of it. So this is already enhancing battle capabilities in Ukraine. I would assume it has done so in Gaza and in other places. So I would dare say, if you're not good in AI, and in adaptive AI, so also changing what you have, you're going to lose every time.
Do you see robotic soldiers on the battlefield?
Yes, I see robotic soldiers. We see drones already. I mean, obviously, there's always a point in time when you have several reasons to ask, should we go all that far? From an ethical question, is it really the best thing to do now? Is the human not still more capable in certain situations, but in many they're not anymore? I mean, meanwhile, almost every aircraft company that thinks they're good has a trained AI agent that will win a dogfight against the best pilots anytime. So it is something that we're seeing already. The other thing that I would say, the whole field of autonomy is certainly something that will also be fueled by AI, to the degree that we decide we want to do.
And how do you see I heard there's a lot of controversy that robots should not be allowed to shoot people, while China already has armed robots. So how will this asymmetrical situation be solved, do you think?
It is I hate to say it, but it's a bit of a German discussion, which has really kept Germany back in the area of UAS and drones and everything else. I was once confronted by an Australian on a panel in Asia who said, so you're prepared, you Europeans are prepared to lose every time? What does it do to you? What does it do to uphold your values if you do that? So it's a bit of an ethical, do you come from, I don't want to be philosophical, but do you come from a Kantian logic? Do you come from a more utilitarian logic? I think the Europeans have to learn that, yes, robots will have to fire. Now, somewhere in that whole chain, including the development thing that goes there, you should have humans in the loop that have the right values and have some oversight and all that. But can you always wait until a human has digested all the information presented and then decides, well, let's fire? No.
Okay, thank you. And René, if now I'm a startup, medtech domain, where would you guide me? Where do you see the most promise for your, okay, you said vision, but give me some more guidance.
You mean in AI, so to say, in healthcare?
I'm in AI in the medtech domain. I'm a startup going out to Europe. Like, is there any specific country you recommend me to start at that has maybe less regulation or is faster in the take-up? Or
Yeah, well, first question. So coming back to my point, how we use AI. So I guess really, for me, I believe do not focus on the autonomous AI. Focus on helping the workflow of the physicians and optimizing the system in general. I think the first step for this is to understand the needs of the physicians or of the hospital, whatever market you're going to address. So I think this is the most important point. And going to Europe, I would definitely recommend Germany as the biggest market in Europe. Definitely a big need of good technology and to optimize the system.
And Yariv, we talked basically software till now, but do you see European hardware that will support the foundation models coming up soon, or will it be, US hardware and?
For the moment, a lot of US hardware. I don't see a lot of European hardware, not enough, I would say, but I bet on it. I bet on it. Why?
That there will be.
Yes, because it's today you do the sensor, the arm, the piece that is controlled by the AI or helped to be controlled by the AI. This is the value add, right? It's more. You can do more. So definitively yes.
Okay, thank you. And we'll do a short round of questions. So René, for you, ChatGPT or Mistral?
Product placement again. So I'm using ChatGPT.
Yariv?
Neither or both. I mean, use them all and
No, you personally.
OpenAI between the two. Yeah.
Okay, Mike?
Personally, ChatGPT, but it's because I'm not domain specific in that regard.
Okay. Google search or Perplexity?
Mostly still Google search, I have to admit. Sometimes Perplexity when I'm not happy with what I find.
Yariv?
Same. Exactly the same.
René?
20% Perplexity and 80 Google.
Okay. René, fake news or real news?
What I said?
No, what do you like? I'm not accusing you, just asking. Next question is, do you prefer fake news or real news?
Definitely real news.
Okay. Yariv?
For entertainment purpose, fake news, because they're becoming like virus. It's crazy.
Mike?
As much as I can differentiate between the two,
Good one.
obviously I try to listen to the real news and I also try to read the fake news to know at least what's cooking.
And Mike, robotic soldiers or human soldiers?
Both.
Yariv?
80% robotics, 20 human.
René?
Medical robots.
But battlefield?
Also, of course.
Okay. So, robot, surgery, everything. Okay. AI agent or a human? What do you prefer?
AI what?
An AI agent or a
Agent.
human for interactions?
I like to work with humans, of course, but it's getting increasingly difficult to differentiate.
Yariv?
Depend on the context. If the task is, I don't want to do it, agent. If it is mechanical, agent. If it is added value, intellectual, difficult, human.
Mike?
Same.
Okay. I'd like to open up for questions. So, anyone? Please. Can we have a mic here in the front? Here in the front.
Hi. So the question is for Yariv, but it's for all of you. Yariv, you said that for startups they need to embrace regulations if they wish to go to Europe. Do you really believe that startups will embrace regulations and not prefer going to other places? Because startups hate regulations, and I think that one of the things that is holding back Europe is regulations. It's, at least for us, it seems it's become a goal and not something basically to help. So I really want to your opinion on that.
Thank you. It's a very good question. Generally speaking, I think you're right. But let me invent a case. Like, let's say that I have a startup and I want to try to do an M&A with Michael here, and I come with a robot without ethics, right? The most perfect Commando Schwarzenegger robot ever, right? Amazing, or Terminator, or whatever. Okay, you might be interested, you might not be interested. Now, if I embraced a little bit of the regulation, a little bit of the cultural as well, constraint sometimes I will say, and I will come with the Terminator and the layer of ethics AI that is maybe not perfect but decent enough, I think we will have different discussions. This is what I meant. So it should not be the objective of, oh, there is this rule, now I do a startup around this rule. No. You need to follow your belief, you need to follow what you think is the right product, yet at the same time be sensitive and sensible about what are the regulations. Because at the end of the day, look at data, what happened, right? At the beginning, everyone, the data were, okay, you can exchange, not exchange, it was the jungle, right? And then regulation started, and we have GDPR, fantastic. We have HIPAA in the US, we have other standards in other parts of the world. So at the end of the day, if you started, for example, a startup that embraced a little bit this respect of data, you would have had a little advantage. Maybe little, might be big, I don't know, but you would have had an edge. This is what I meant.
Mike, anything to add? And,
Yeah, well, I would. There's a part of me that concurs with you. It's mainly and initially an obstacle, and it has held Europe back, and it is still cumbersome for small and big companies. It's outrageous and needs to be curbed, and all the red tape needs to be cut. So I think the EU is at least realizing that needs to be done. Now, will we get there? Let's see. But I would also say that, at least in sensitive areas, you need to come with the right value proposition that somehow embeds an ethical piece or a values piece into your value proposition. Otherwise, if it's just, whatever, that might work in financial or in other areas, but it might not work in medical, in defense, in even traffic. It might not work in commercial airliners or cars or whatever.
another question. No question. Yeah, in the back there, please.
Hi. So you all talk about the AI and mainly focus on the module that getting advanced all over. And another thing that I think we need to approach, and I would like to hear your thoughts about it, is about the data. Because we know, and you all specify in AI, if you don't have a quality data, no matter what kind of amazing model you have, the result will not do as good. So my question for you is, are you also searching or investing in a way to collect a better quality data, and if we add the regulation for that, to fit the regulation in order to improve the AI and not just the technology?
Can you? So the question is:
So
is data startup valid investment or?
Yeah. So if the focus of the industry and the venture is also about creating a quality data and not only a quality AI models.
Maybe I can start. So when I look to invest or not in a startup, today data is clearly one of the main points that we are looking at, because garbage in, garbage out, right? Data will be part of your IP, will be part of your asset, will be part of your defense against competition, will be an important element. It's not only to data per se, but it's really a part of the product. So within the startup, data is clearly something important. After to invest in per se companies that are, or startups that are focusing only on data, it goes a little bit outside of our thesis for the moment, but I think it's a valid thesis. Could be very important.
Just to add from Siemens Healthineers side, so the big advantage from our point of view is that we are a global company. And so since quite a while, we are collecting data from 5 continents in order to avoid, for example, bias in our AI solutions. So this is our approach and our advantages here in this market.
I mean, probably everything has been said, but I think that's not maybe the place where a startup would bring the value to at least a big company that acts in a vertical, because we have the data, we have the domain knowledge. So I think it's much easier to bring a value proposition of an app in the stack somewhere, which could also look at data, so it could be part of the solution, but only data I think would be falling a bit short in terms of my expectations. While it's super important, no disagreement.
So thank you, everyone. We're out of time. We're meeting here again at exactly 1400 for the investors panel. Thank you.